Hi there, and welcome to a very special episode of the Cultiez Cinema, the 2021 Best of Awards, the Culties. And I know you're looking at it, you're saying, how the hell did you spell that? Well, I decided I was going to be edgy. Now, this is what all the kids like in the 90s. But, so we got an X, we got a Z. So that means we're an edgier, cooler show. Right, Raj? So I got my cousin Raj over here on the side. And what we're going to do, basically, we're going to kind of free flow. I got the categories, nominees, except for one category, which is the one we'll do first. Because I want to get my happy place award out of the way. So these are just two releases that came out this year in 2021 that probably gave me the most joy when it comes to just single releases on no frills. I wasn't watching it for for a special box or a special slipcover or anything like that. I was watching these movies and I really loved and enjoyed both of these films. And these are two films that I really do think should be in your collection. So if you're collecting films, no matter what you like, I think these are just two films that put you in your happy spot. Give you a bit of a happy ending. That sounds wrong, but we'll go with that because the Happy Place Awards for this year, there's two films. And first we have Utopia's Shiva Baby. So if you have not seen Utopia's Shiva Baby, what are you doing with your life? Because this is an amazing film. It is a comedy film that's kind of in a weird way shot like a horror film. Does that intrigue you? It should. If it doesn't intrigue you, just keep listening. Shiva Baby stars this amazingly charismatic actress. She's also a stand-up comedian, and she is gorgeous too. But she does an amazing job. The director on this one is fantastic, and they shoot this where she has an anxiety attack sequence in the film. I know it doesn't sound like something funny, but it is. It's actually really funny, and they shoot the anxiety attack like you're really having the anxiety attack with her. So that's actually really cool. It's a really good film. If you've never seen it, it's about this girl, and she's she's, what do you call those people? She's a sugar baby, basically. So she's a sugar baby. She really hasn't decided what she wants to do with her life. She kind of wants to become, she wants to go into the art. She wants to act. She wants to make films. But right now, sugar baby is, it's kind of a way to make money. She goes to a shiva with her family, and while she's there, she sees her ex-girlfriend, and she sees the guy that's basically been her sugar daddy with his wife, and antics ensue. It's way, way better than I can make it sound. Trust me. It's an amazing film. Second up is one from Umbrella's underrated Sunburnt Screens sublabel, and that is Malcolm. If you have not seen the movie Malcolm, you're missing out on a part of just happy joy in your life. Malcolm is a really cool film, and I guess the best way to put it is Malcolm is one of those movies that's there to make you happy. It seems like it could be a kids movie, but then it runs into some adult territory, some nudity and stuff like that. But even that, it's kind of light. And but I was watching Malcolm, and I'm like, man, this is a really good, cool this could almost be a family-friendly kids movie. And there was an actress on there, and said, I wonder if I could see her nude. And Malcolm, they didn't just keep that kind of cool, light, friendly, kind of funny thing, but they also offered me the nudity as well. So it won on out terms. So Malcolm, 100% pick that up. It's from Umbrella Entertainment. That is a company in Australia, and you can get their stuff on their own website or through JB Hi-Fi. Shiva Baby came from Utopia, so you can get that from Vinegar Syndrome because it's one of their partner labels. Now we're going to go into the best 4K release. So this is a different one because I didn't get a ton of 4Ks this year, but for some of these here I had to do some research. I actually had to dive into stuff that I actually didn't have, and watch things and just go over different videos and stuff. So I did, and we got some. So the nominees are. I should have had you read the nominees. You know that? I should have sent you a thing for the nominees. I should have my cousin read the nominees. 10 Commandments Limited Edition Steelbook Paramount, which included the Cecil B. DeMille 1923 edition. Scanners Cop Double Pack from Vinegar Syndrome with Scanners Cop and Scanners Cop 2. Halloween 1 to 5, the 4Ks from Scream Factory. Citizen Kane 4K from Criterion. That's going to hit to another category that may not be so happy. Ticks 4K from Vinegar Syndrome. And the Columbia Classics Volume 2 4K box set with Anatomy of a Murder, Oliver, Sense and Sensibility, Stripes, and Taxi Driver. And this was a hard one. It really was. And I thought, this is probably going to go to Scanner's Cop. I really love Scanner's Cop. But that Columbia box set, it's pretty awesome. So you got a wide variety of titles here. You got a little bit for everybody. So you got like Anatomy of a Murder. You got Oliver. You got Sense and Sensibility. You got Stripes. Stripes is one of my favorites, Canadian film. And Taxi Driver. Again, love the film Taxi Driver. So I went back and forth. Is it going to be Scanner's Cop? Is it going to be Columbia Classics? Is it going to be Halloween 1 to 5? And at the end of the day, even though Halloween, one of them at the Nicolas Cage mask, I had to go with Columbia Classics Volume 2 because definitely want that in my collection. Scanner's Cop, you almost got there. You really did. And you're an amazing release. So, and by the way, anything that gets on here nominated for most of these awards, like, you made it to the nominations department. That's awesome. That's like, when you're watching the Oscars, like, you got like 4 or 5 people that don't win, and you got like the other person that wins, and they're the Oscar award-winning actor, but the other people are still Oscar-nominated people. So yeah, wow. So I just did my first awards, Culties, and I equated it with the Oscars. So how vain is that? Tea. All right. Normally I wear a hat, but I left it over there, and I don't want to mess up what's left of my hair. So next up is the Vinegar Syndrome Partner Label Award. So there are 4 in the running for this one. We have Utopia. We've got Fun City Editions. We have Gunpowder and Sky. And we have Saturn Core. Hopefully, if you haven't checked out any of the Vinegar Syndrome Partner labels, and maybe you're not a Vinegar Syndrome person per se, you're not really into that style film, the partner labels are very, very different. And they have a wide variety of films and styles that I think kind of hits everybody's like a niche. Even if you're a Criterion person or a BFI person, these partner labels, there's ones to look at. But the winner this year, and just for putting out such great releases, including an incredible box set, their very first box set, which was knocked it out of the park. Putting out one of my favorite releases of the year, actually, which would have been number 3 in the Happy Place, was Walking the Edge, is Fun City Editions. Fun City Editions just did some amazing things with their company this year. I'm excited to see where they go from here. They haven't gotten to 4K yet, but they're keeping on like trudging along with these releases, with these like booklets and box sets. Their first box set, and their box set was so good that the Vinegar Syndrome, the actual parent company that owns the website, put out a televised terror box set, a TV movie box set, which was really great. But Fun City Editions put out the Primetime Panic box set, which was, way, way better in both like the way that it looks and the way that it's done and the films that are in there as well. So, wow. Surprise release of the year. This is an easy one, actually. There's not even any more nominees for this one. I was shocked to see this announced. I was less shocked to see the other film be announced after the first one was announced, because you kind of had to have both of them out there. But that is the Blood for Dracula from Severin and Flesh for Frankenstein from Vinegar Syndrome. So these films have been wanted for ages, but to see them come out on 4K, to see a Blood for Dracula CD soundtrack, to see a Flesh for Frankenstein 4K and in 3D, whether you want to watch it on Analgaf original 3D or you want to watch it with a real 3D on a 3D TV or a PlayStation VSR, either way, you're set. It's amazing releases. And while I'm talking about soundtracks, although I do not have a soundtrack category on here or don't have a music category on here this year, I do have to say this. And Howling Wolf Records have been putting out amazing release after release after release, and I don't think that enough people talk about them. So I am definitely going to be talking about them more in 2022. They actually got to put out the incredible release. Oh God, so many releases this year. Storm Warning is the one that really set Jamie Blanks. You know Jamie. If you've watched the channel for a while, Jamie Blanks from Urban Legend, from Valentine, from Storm Warning, from so many incredible films, and of course many more to come, I'm sure. But if you've never checked out Howling Wolf Records, you're really missing out, because they're putting out some amazing CD soundtracks that just have incredible write-ups, incredible stuff on the inside of it. So check them out. I wanted to get that in there. I was originally going to put in like a soundtrack one, but really, literally for this year, would have been they would have like at almost every one, like every nomination, like done up. So kind of would have been anticlimactic for that part of it. All right, so biggest bang for your buck. These are box sets that came out that had a lot of stuff in them. They had some amazing, incredible stuff. Some stuff that, not just the box itself, but the films that are in it. Maybe some of the other things, like whether it has a book, whether it has some other features on there. So there were three that came to mind that I wanted to put in here. First is the Anne Milligan collection from Severin. Then there is the All Haunts Be Ours Severin Full Core collection. And there's the Shawscope collection from Arrow Video. So this one was a hard one. Although there is a ton of things in the All Haunts Be Ours collection, I couldn't just put it there on its own. So I tied it. So All Haunts Be Ours and the Shawscope collection tied for biggest bang for your buck. And that's not the only tie we're going to have this year. But those two box sets, and I don't have them yet myself. I do desperately need to get both of those. But those are things that should be on in your collection and in your shelf. If you got one of those little display cases, they're that good. They look that amazing. Best trend. All right, so this was something different. I wanted to go with the best trend of the year. So we got the bundle pre-orders, and we had a few of these. We had the bundle things from Mondo Macabre. Mondo started doing bundles this year. Severin does their bundles. Vinegar Syndrome does their bundles. We're seeing more bundle releases coming out in 2021, and we got sub-labels and more sub-labels. Companies from Vinegar Syndrome to Umbrella Entertainment to Mill Creek are putting out like different sub-labels. And sub-labels are so fun to collect because they're off from the main label, and there's usually less of them. Ooh, no, don't worry, it's not going black. Well, I'll get to that in a second. And of course, companies go all in on 4K. So we were waiting and waiting to see, if more companies were going to do 4K over the last couple of years. Was 4K going to make it? Was this new format really going to go somewhere? And then we started to see Kino do it. We started to see other companies do it, and we finally got to see Criterion do 4K. And we're like, okay, Blue Underground's been doing 4K on a regular basis, and killing it. Don't worry, I thought about Blue Underground when it came to the best 4K release of the year, and there was a Blue Underground one that almost made it onto that list. So I do apologize to you Blue Underground fans. It'll probably be definitely the lesson releases probably next year that I'll put on the list. If this was the year before, Blue Underground would have won it. But best trend of the year is sub-labels and more sub-labels. It's fun to collect. And for us here, for us collectors, it is super fun to collect different films. But then you get a film with a different slipcover or a different box, and it's numbered. It's got its own numbering. And you're like, oh my God, I'm screwed. The side of this one has a number on it. And you realize as a collector then that you're going to be collecting this. It doesn't matter. If you get one or two in a sub-label that you like, there's no way most people are going to go, well, there's number 1 on that label, and there's number 4 and number 7. No, you don't do that. You're going to be collecting them all. So we got things coming out this year. The cinema collection from Umbrella. We had, of course, the World Cinema one come from Umbrella. We had VSP come from Vinegar Syndrome this year. Severin started last year with their, last year or the year before with their family, Severin Kids label. And yeah, sub-labels and more sub-labels. And you know what? I love sub-labels because it lets you collect a lot of times stuff from a company and do it complete. It's like the VSA collection. VSAs come out, but they don't come out too often and too much that it's overwhelming. So it's been easy for me to keep up pretty much with the VSA collection. So I can say, okay, here's a pretty close to complete VSA collection. Vinegar Syndrome Archives, for those that don't know. But it's much harder to say, oh, here's my complete Vinegar Syndrome collection. I'm not Daddy Warbucks. I can't do that, but I can have some of those sub-label collections, and I do really enjoy that, and it makes it more fun. All right, so dedication awards. So companies that have dedicated to putting out a certain type or certain series of releases. We got Vinegar Syndrome with their Spanish horror, whether it be Ruben Galando Jr. or the Cardona stuff. We have 88 Films Asian Cinema Collection, and we've seen a lot of stuff. And aside from that, they're basically a lot of the martial arts stuff, the Jean-Claude Van Damme, other Jackie Chan stuff. We got the Severin Jess Franco releases, the Severin 6, of course, the Jess Franco 6, that came out and just finished this year. And the Ultraman series / Subaraya studio releases from Mill Creek Entertainment. This is the other tie. I said there's going to be 2 ties in this here one, and we got the Ultraman series Subaraya studio releases from Mill Creek. They've been killing it with these releases, and they have been so dedicated to getting every single Ultraman series, and even like other series, just like like Gridman out there as well, from Subaraya Studios. So it's exciting to get a new Ultraman release. They put the murals on them to give you steelbooks. They put Blu-rays when they can. When they can't, you get like complete DVD editions with booklets and slip covers. You take out the slip cover, and unlike some where the slip cover is exactly the same as the work on the inside, the artwork is completely different on the inside. And I can't not tie that with 88 Films Asian cinema releases, because they have been killing it with their Asian cinema releases this year. They've just done so many great things. Their Jackie Chan Young Master set, which I missed out on just by that much. Oh my God, is that ever a sexy ass looking set? It is amazing looking. It's got some incredible stuff in it. And if you have been looking at checking out Asian cinema, and especially a lot of the martial arts stuff, well, one, get yourself the Shadowscope collection from Arrow Video. But go look at 88 Films and just look and see how much they put out there. They've got so many great releases. A lot of Kung Fu Bob artwork there as well. So just incredibly amazing stuff. You like, martial arts cinema?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Now, would you go more for, like, I know you're a Jackie Chan fan. You're, like, Raj is a Jackie Chan fan. Would you go for more, like, the Jackie Chan stuff or, like, Jamie Wang Yu type?
Since I don't know who Jamie Wang Yu is.
Like the One-Iron Swordsman, stuff like that, though. He's got the ponytail.
Well, I've never watched. I've never knownly watched one of those films, but I'm open to watching it. I'm just Jack Chan stuff,
He's like, yeah.
He was sort of introduced to America and then just grew from there. And
well, we got him earlier. Like, did you ever go to? There's the theater. Did you remember Charlie Reed's Theater?
Charlie Reed's Theater.
So they showed a lot of freaking Jackie Chan stuff, like the older stuff. Do you remember that? Oh yeah. Like I saw like some, like I didn't know, like he wasn't anybody then, because of course Rumble in the Bronx wasn't. That's when brought him over here. And of course, even before that, he did like the one that he did where he didn't do much Jackie Chan stuff in it, but it's like something.
Big Battle Creek Brawl.
Battle Creek Brawl, yeah. So, but they had like some of the earlier stuff, like him, like probably like a Drunken Master type stuff over there at that point. So I used to go when I would come up. I would go to Charlie Reed's Theater, and it was like really cheap to go in there. Sometimes you go in, they give you a poster when you go out of the movie. That was kind of cool. But yeah, that's where I got to see Jackie Chan first, and I didn't realize it was Jackie Chan until years later, because I'm like, how would I? I'm like, oh, look at this. I just thought it was a cool like martial arts film. I miss theaters like that.
Yeah,
those are cool. Best TV box set of the year: Kolchak the Night Stalker from Kino Lorber, Space 1999 from Imprint Films, Night Gallery from Kino Lorber, Severin's Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee's Theater Macabre set. Set within a set. And do you know what the winner is going to be here? Can you guess the winner here?
I don't.
It's one of my favorite shows of all time, actually. And the set is sexy as all hell. I don't have anything from this company. I have to rectify that in the new year. But Space 1999 from Imprint Films. Out on Blu-ray, looking really cool and sexy. There's other releases that are out there, but nothing touches just how good the Space 1999 imprint set looks, and just how well the production of their releases are. If you've never seen Space 1999, it's pretty much broken up into 2 seasons. It's about, well, these guys kind of stranded, lost in space. There you go. But you got these cool actors in it, and it really changes from the first to the second season. So the first season is got some pretty dark super creepy, almost Hammer-esque episodes to it. Now, the second season, they hired a bunch of Star Trek writers, and they became much more sci-fi hokey. But still, very fun. And either way, this Space 99 box set has something for everybody. 100% recommend it. All right. The film box set of the year. We got the Severin Nasty Habits set. The Arrow Shawscope Collection, Volume 1. The 88 Films Urban Legend Collection. Severin's All Haunts Be Ours. This time, I didn't say, okay, one's going to win over the other. Or I didn't say, like, we're going to have a tie. Would have been the easy way out. When I got up to the film box set of the year, I wanted there to be one film box set of the year. And there was really, as much as I love the other sets that I'm mentioning here, Severin's All Haunts Be Ours is a game changer of a set. It looks into folk horror. It has a 3.5 hour long documentary, over 3 hour long documentary. It has a wide range of folk horror films from all across the globe. Tons of features on it. Its packaging, its bundling, it's just done extremely well. It's definitely one of the releases of 2021. And if you haven't checked it out, like, definitely check it out. This is one of my that I want to buy next year. Unfortunately, the box set edition of it with the big crate packaging, that's going to be gone at the end of, well, in about 6 hours actually. But I will be getting the original, the regular edition of this one in 2021 for sure. Now, this is a category which I'm hoping that I'll be able to do in other years, and this is the Geek Me Away. So the Geek Me Away category, we have releases here that are done in a unique way. So they're not just regular releases. Whether it be their artwork style, or whether it be a uniqueness to something that's done in the box, or whether it be something that's like, that is just so, that hits your inner geek so much that you have a joygasm. And there's a simple one like Halloween UHD Scream Factory Edition with their sets with the orange records and the enamel pins. Extremely cool stuff. Vinegar Syndrome's Cardona Fridge Magnet, because I'm pretty sure that's what it's for. It's a magnet. There's a magnet on it. If I'm ever, I get some paper, go to my doctor, and I'm gonna need to get some blood work or something done, so that I don't lose that piece of paper, I get my Cardona box set, like, put it onto my refrigerator, and I'm sure that's exactly what the Cardona box is meant before. And the Street Fighter Steelbook by Mill Creek, and yes it is. Oh my God, it has a bison buck, for crying out loud. Of course, it's going to be the Street Fighter Mill Creek box set Steelbook, because it is so sexy looking. One, it looks incredible. Two, it has this kind of see-through with like the Street Fighter logo on it, so you get the unadulterated artwork on one side. On the other side of it, you get the M. Bison painting from the film. It really is the one that really dives into its campiness and really takes it to that next level. And you open it up and you get that bison buck on the inside, and you're like, fuck yes, this is the box set of, this is the Geek Me edition of 2021. Pick it up. It's a really good edition. It's a limited edition. Once it goes out, you're going to kick yourself if you don't have it, because you're going to want to have those bison bucks in your hands. All right. There's always one of these. Every award show's got to have one of these. So the Razzies has a whole award series about it, like it's the Razzie Awards. But the biggest botch of 2021. All right. Ready for these? Biggest botches of 2021. There's going to be a winner, so there's going to be a winner. Severin's website failure on Black Friday. We're kind of used to it by now. It happens every year. Some years are worse than others. This wasn't one of the worst years when it came to it, but Severin still, they had glorious stuff for Black Friday, and the website was error 504ing over and over. People were trying to buy stuff. They were putting things in their cart. The website was going down. They were putting things in the cart. The website was going down. It happened for a while, but they did manage to work it out, and they gave people some coupons too as well. Criterion Citizen Kane packaging. Citizen Kane, considered by far and large by a lot of people to be one of the greatest films ever made, right? Right? Citizen Kane. How about we make a packaging where it's almost impossible to get the discs out of the set? Because not only does it look kind of embarrassingly bad with a large K in the middle of it, that's what they use as a K, but it folds open like this, and this. Oh my God. You had one job. You were putting out your first 4Ks, and you decided maybe you wanted the K, because it was your first 4K release, and then you say, well, no, we're going to be clever. We're going to put Kane. That's my cheerleading thing for it. But oh my God, was it bad? It was bad packaging. It was badly done, and you done messed up, Criterion. You done messed up. Severin announces full books for some of their bundles. Yes, the Anna Milligan set came with an actual fat press book. The set, the apocalyptic like sets, like film sets bundle came with a book. The Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee came with a book, a big actual full book that was America only. Oh my God, what a disappointment. Severin, don't be on my list twice, but this was horrible. And they dialed it back with the post-apocalyptic book. Like, you can buy that in North America now, not just in Canada, not just in the United States. So, yeah, no. And last but not least, Vinegar Syndrome goes all in on Cardona. Vinegar Syndrome decides to go all in on Renaud Cardona Jr. Choosing the wrong Cardona, they choose one that's a bit problematic, especially when you're looking at certain types of films. If you're not a fan of seeing, animals are killed or just badly handled within films, then Cardona's not for you. It's really not. And they decided to make it like they were going to not just do a box set, just to see. Because, they could have bought 3 films. Said, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to put it out. Or put them out as regular releases, put them in over time, and, sneak one of them in with a bundle type thing. No, we're going to do 3 box sets. That they're each going to have a magnet on them. And the magnets are going to stick the sets together. And then we're going to make these really thin sets, so they're going to look cheaper than our regular sets. So, of course, assholes like me are going to look at that and say, you know what? This is a fridge magnet. I just got a $40, $50 fridge magnet. Because, and oh my God, Cardona, if I had an award here for a director in need of an editor, Cardona, man, you would win it. But no, rest in peace, René Cardona III, unfortunately passed away this year. He was working on the sets with them. And no, it's not my thing, but, does the website botch win it? No, they actually did better this year. Does the Citizen Kane package win it? Almost. It just got edged out. Does the American Books Only thing win it? No. There's a licensing thing for some of those. I don't think there is totally for all of them. I think that's they may be fudging that a bit. I don't know. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. But oh my God, Vinegar Syndrome, you may lose a bit of money on the Cardona sets. Hopefully they got them got a really good deal, really cheap on them, because I don't think it got the response that they expected. This is not a Ruben Galando Jr. deal where, oh my God, these are so fun and exciting. Everybody wants to own them and get like pajamas of like dinosaurs with dinosaurs on them because they saw them in a Ruben Galando Jr. film. No, this is Cardona, where you want to get through it as quickly as possible and then put it back on your fridge because your kid just brought home their latest piece of artwork and you want to make sure you got a place to display it, and there's no magnets nearby. Most improved company of 2021. For that, we have Kino, Severin Films, Vinegar Syndrome, and Umbrella Entertainment. There are a lot of other companies that could have went in here just for great releases that they did. But to be honest, even with a website botch, even with the book only being allowed in America botch, This was pretty easy. Actually, it was really easy, and I'll tell you why. The only one that would have came close is Umbrella, because their PR marketing for the sublabels is insanely great. It really, really is. But Severin have upped their game. Severin was a company that was, for some people, was that other company when you're not buying Vinegar Syndrome stuff. When you got a Vinegar Syndrome itch, but you can't really scratch it, you go to Severin. That's how it was seen for a long time. Severin, didn't always have the prestige that it kind of had, that some of the releases have now. But Severin has gone on to put out Flesh for Frankenstein. They've gone on to put up the All Hansby Hours box set. They've got last year they put out an Al Adamson box set, a pretty much almost complete career retrospective. They did the same thing for Andy Milligan. They're putting out a Black Emmanuel box set. I so want that. So many great things, like Nasty Habits came in at the end of the year. It was a surprise box set coming out. That came out, and they started up a podcast, which is actually pretty fun. And they've just gone on. They've put out movies over this year, like Overboard with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. They put out, they put out a Mike Leigh film this year. Mike freaking Leigh, famous English director, like a serious director. They put out a Buddy Giovanazzo. I totally butchered the name. Film with hand numbered. That's kind of cool. They do things like the Umberto Lenzi Carol Baker set. They put it last year with the really, really good soundtrack and the films and that. And they keep going one step farther. The only thing stopping them right now from just being one of the top companies overall are these website errors, these sale errors, because they're putting out stuff that's Criterion worthy, Criterion level, actually up over a Criterion level. Because you look at some of the stuff and some of the botches that Criterion has done the last couple of years. Citizen Kane, I'm looking at you. Messing up the box set for they put out director's box sets. Great Bergman box set, fantastic Bergman box set. But some of the other director box sets that they've done have not fared quite as well as the Bergman set did. It seems like they went all in on the Bergman one, and then when it came to doing things like Godzilla, for instance, it was nice, but it wasn't great. These sets continue to be overall great releases, one after another, and all Hansby Hours out Criterion, almost out Indicator to Indicator, in just the level of professionalness and just the amount of learning and knowledge and joy you can get from that set. So, Severin, you easily became most improved company of 2021. Which brings us to the final category. Best company of the year. There were a lot of good releases that came out this year. There were a lot of films that came out, a lot of box sets, a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of stuff we watched. Me and Raj would come down here, we'll watch a movie, watched a lot of really good stuff. Went to a lot of different companies, watched a lot of different stuff. This year, Randolph Scott, that set from Mill Creek, was amazing. A really fun watch. I remember last year, too, when we watched the Rita Hayworth stuff. Really great stuff. But one company puts out that style stuff and much more than any other. But let's read out the nominees first. We have Arrow Video, Severin Films, 88 Films, Vinegar Syndrome, Powerhouse Indicator, Mill Creek Entertainment, and Umbrella Films. That's a lot of companies. There's a lot that we didn't mention. I didn't get much second sight this year, so I wasn't able to really go into the second sight releases. Though we'll be looking at second sight releases next year when I actually am able to pick some up, when I get the bones to pick them up. But one company stood out from the way that they did their sales, from the way that they handled their announcements online, to the releases that came out, and did they ever end the year on a high note. And best company of 2021, Powerhouse Indicator. Powerhouse Indicator has been doing these Hammer box sets that are among some of the best box sets that you're going to get. And they don't just stop there. If maybe you're not a Hammer fan, maybe you like film noir, they got you covered there. They got the Columbia film noir box sets as well. Or maybe you like stuff like Marlene Dietrich, the Marlene Dietrich box sets. box set came out from them. And they ended this year off with one of the greats, a Mae West box set, an incredible Mae West box set. And they didn't just put a lot of great Mae West ones in there. They put a bunch of Three Stooges shorts on each of the discs, which they do for the film noir ones as well, which I think seems like an odd choice. They put like what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, interviews, lectures, basically, with people, 80, 90, sometimes 120-minute lectures. Incredible stuff. And in the Mae West box set, they even put in the TV movie about Mae West. And for a guy that loves TV films and it thinks that they're really underrepresented, Mae West coming out at the end of the year, I'm eagerly waiting that box set. A good friend of mine, George, actually got that for me for Christmas this year, so I have it coming, and I'm so excited to watch that. We got to watch the Mae West stuff. Some cool stuff there. You'll like that. Paris Indicator, you did it. Put in like congratulations confetti right here if you want to. I'm not going to, because the Z in the Culties, it stands for lazy. No, I'm just not doing that this year. Paris Indicator, you got it. And you know what? For best award for best, best guest to put on your channel. I last night I was on Master Chaos's channel. Master Chaos has a great channel, and there's a lot of other great people on there with channels that you should be watching, and just some overall really knowledgeable people. But I gave you the biggest bang, the most explosive moment on YouTube of 2021 when I'm talking about Justice League, the Zack Snyder version, I think a car or truck races down a road, bangs into a pole, cracking it in half and exploding a transformer, leaving us here in the dark. So don't say I don't give you anything. Biggest bang of the year, most explosive YouTube moment of 2021. I got to do it on somebody else's channel. So Master Kiss, hope you liked it, because we sat in the dark for about 6 to 8 hours. Over that, I guess. Well, about 7 o'clock in the morning when it came back, right? Yeah, about 7 o'clock in the morning came back. So thank you Netflix, by the way, for those like smart download things, because if you got Netflix, one of the cool things is that if you set it for smart download, they'll look at your viewing habits and they'll download stuff onto your tablet or whatever so that you got something to watch if something like ever happens, or if you're ever going on a trip. Because I love my physical media, but I can't always take this with me. I can't go say, oh well, it's time, I guess I'm gonna go, all the power's out, I guess I'm gonna watch La Strada, because how, unfortunately. But man, what a year, 2021. What do you think is the best thing you've seen this year?
Don't know.
Like, are there any standouts for you? Like the stuff that we watched that kind of stood out?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, I like the Malcolm and the other one, Big Steel.
The Big Steel?
They were good. I really like those.
Yeah, like those were good. Really, like I was really blown away this year when it came to Sunburn Screen. What the stuff they've done. We watched Malcolm, watched the Big Steel. Overlanders was pretty cool. I like that. That's something to watch. They're like a company to watch for. Flesh for Frankenstein. You got to watch that one with me. No, not Flesh for Frankenstein. Yeah, actually, Blood for Dracula. That was a good release this year. So much good stuff, guys. So much great releases for 2021. And there you go. I did it a bit different. I didn't flash anything up on the screen. I didn't show you a bunch of stuff because the power was out last night and I didn't get to edit this the way that I wanted to. But that's okay, because we're doing it raw, uncensored, gonzo. We're doing it gonzo style because, at the end of the day, first thing I did when I went to school was journalism. And it was that whole gonzo style journalism that I liked, and that was that drew me here to basically to YouTube, to kind of be the antithesis of the heavily edited, done clip video. And I did some editing work when I was back in the day, back in journalism. But as much as I like to watch videos like that sometimes, I didn't want my channel to be like that. So for those that are here for the first time, you're wondering, well, where's the clips? I do that sometimes. I'll put in some I'll put in some some shots, so some other stuff. But for my channel right here, it's meant to be as homey as possible. That's why we're looking at this in my living room, as opposed to like me going downstairs where all my movies are and saying, oh look, there's all these movies in here. Look how impressive this looks. Or doing a bunch of editing and putting in like some snap cuts and stuff like that, because I want this to be about as real as possible. Once you feel comfortable, feel at home, like you're sitting here talking to me and you're like, I don't agree with that, or I agree with that. Either way, just that you feel comfortable enough to chat and enjoy yourself, pull up a chair, that type of thing. Anywho, 2021. You took Betty White from us. Rest in peace, Betty White. That was a bit of a downer today. But man, 99 years. That woman was a legend and still is. She'll be a legend and remembered for a long, long time to come. Here's a woman, like, of course she did shows like Golden Girls, the Mary Tyler Moore Show. She was in like Placid. She did a ton of stuff that you would just really have to get a dedicated whole big. That's when you would have to do a fancy edited video. Just the stuff that Betty White has done. So so many people we lost this year, but this one's raw, this one's real. Rest in peace, Betty White. This is dedicated to you, who brought a lot of joy to a lot of people for a very long time and told it like it was. There you go. I am Aaron. This is my cousin Roger there off screen, the invisible voice you hear. Happy New Year from our house here, from me, from Raj, to my better half Hind, to you right there in your living rooms or however you're watching this. Maybe you're watching this at a diner on your phone. If you are, congratulations. You got through like a 45-minute video, but you might have to get up now. Somebody else might be waiting for that table. I'll see you soon in 2021, where we'll be looking at a lot of stuff, including some big announcements from the partner labels coming from Vinegar Syndrome. And when's that happening? Late tonight, actually. Will I do a video on it? Depends how much sleep I want. See you later. Happy New Year. And as always, it costs nothing to be kind. Be kind to others. Trust me, it will pay back for you. And be kind to yourself, because you do deserve it. And here, there's always another movie. There's always another soundtrack. There's always another book. But there's only one you. And don't take yourself for granted. I'll see you next year in 2022. Hopefully, unless the world just because you never know nowadays. You never know. If an explosion is going to start in the background again. But you know what I did during the explosion? I kept making the video. That was my badass moment of 2021. Happy New Year, guys. Have a great year. Oh, have a great next year, too.